join, and also Javari Thomas. Bryan Levell trying to upset the apple cart in this one. Bryan Levell, what a fight!
Levell, though, slow start, but now the big, tall, strong Jamaicans into his running, and he comes through.
Christopher Taylor in second, he's pushing, but Bryan Levell is moving away from the rest of the field. This is a fantastic performance. This
was gone by Simmons. Bryan Levell now carries the field in the home stretch. Levell with a slight advantage now on his inside.
I don't like easy races. I hate them. I don't like going to the small races, the Florida relays.
Behind is Dakers of GC Foster College. He sprints away from Dakers. Impressive run from this young man from Edwin Allen.
The men's 200 meters at the World Championships has already delivered fireworks before the final has even begun. Bryan Levell, Jamaica's new sprint sensation, lit up the semifinals with a jaw-dropping 19.78, a time that would have won countless global races in the past. But just when fans thought the young challenger had set the bar, Noah Lyles reminded the world why he is the undisputed king of this distance, answering with a devastating 19.51 that shook the stadium to its core. In the span of minutes, the narrative transformed from "Is Levell ready to challenge?" to "Can anyone stop Lyles when he's in this kind of form?" Yet what makes this even more tantalizing is that Levell's 19.78 wasn't a fluke. It was a statement, a marker that he is not backing down. And now, with both men through to the final, the stage is set for one of the most explosive showdowns the sport has seen in years. For Bryan Levell, the semifinal was his moment of arrival on the global stage. After his 19.84 in the heat stunned fans, there were whispers that maybe he had peaked too soon. But Levell silenced every doubt with a smoother, sharper, more aggressive performance, clocking 19.78 and stamping his ticket to the final in style. It wasn't just the time that stood out, it was how he did it. His drive out of the blocks was stronger, his control on the curve more refined, and his transition into the straight cleaner than ever. Most importantly, he showed no fear, running his race with confidence and composure against seasoned athletes who have been here before. To run sub 19.80 in only his second outing at a global championship shows the kind of ceiling Levell has. He may not have beaten Lyles in this round, but he proved that Jamaica's hopes are not misplaced. The semifinals told the world, Bryan Levell is no longer just a prospect. He is a contender. But while Levell's run was impressive, Noah Lyles' response was nothing short of terrifying. The American, already a multiple-time world champion, unleashed 19.51 in his semifinal, and he made it look almost effortless. It was a reminder that when the stakes rise, so does Lyles. He controlled the curve with his trademark smoothness, then powered down the straight as if chasing a world record rather than just qualification. The crowd gasped as the clock stopped, because 19.51 in a semifinal is the kind of performance most athletes dream of producing in a final. It wasn't just a run, it was a psychological strike, a way of saying to Levell and everyone else, "This is still my kingdom." Lyles has long thrived on these moments, where the spotlight is brightest, and tonight was no different. If Levell brought the fire, Lyles brought the thunder, and the clash between them has now escalated into something truly extraordinary. Numbers tell part of the story, but the context tells even more. Levell's 19.78 was historic for a Jamaican sprinter still finding his footing on the world stage. But it was also his fastest ever performance, showing that his trajectory is still climbing. Lyles' 19.51, meanwhile, was the fastest time in the world this year, sending shockwaves not just through the stadium but across the track and field community globally. What makes this fascinating is the dynamic between the two. Levell represents potential, the raw, rising force of youth, while Lyles represents mastery, the polished champion at the peak of his powers. The semifinals didn't just set up a final. They set up a story of contrast, of fire meeting steel, and while the gap in times may look decisive, sprinting finals are never guaranteed. Pressure changes everything, and Levell's fearlessness could be the one variable that no stopwatch can measure. Jamaica hasn't seen a male sprinter dominate the world stage since the retirement of Usain Bolt. And tonight, Bryan Levell gave fans a reason to believe the drought could end soon. His 19.78 carried echoes of Bolt's early breakthroughs. Not in exact style, but in the sense of inevitability that surrounded it. For Jamaican fans, this semifinal wasn't just about advancing to the final, it was about reclaiming the island's sprinting identity. The chants of Levell leveling the place echoed once again, and the national pride was palpable. While Lyles' 19.51 stole global headlines, Levell's performance mattered deeply at home, signaling that Jamaica has a star who can once again go toe-to-toe with the very best in the world. The question now isn't whether Levell belongs, it's how soon he can rise to the very top. And with the final ahead, Jamaicans believe their new champion is ready to shock the world. Despite his blazing semifinal, Noah Lyles enters the final with more pressure than anyone else on the track. Yes, he ran 19.51, but by doing so, he raised expectations sky high. Fans will demand that he dominate the final, and anything less may be seen as a disappointment. That's the paradox of greatness. The better you perform, the higher the bar becomes. For Lyles, the semifinal wasn't just about winning his race. It was about sending a message to Levell and the rest of the field. But in doing so, he may have also placed a target on his back. Levell now knows exactly what he's chasing, and the rest of the field has nothing to lose. The American thrives on pressure, but this final will test him like never before. It's no longer just about running fast. It's about holding off a fearless challenger who refuses to be intimidated. What makes this so exciting is that it's not just a race. It's the start of a rivalry that track and field desperately needed. Levell versus Lyles is youth versus experience, Jamaica versus the United States, hunger versus legacy. Every sport thrives on storylines like this, where one star is rising just as another is at his peak. The semifinals gave us a glimpse of what this battle will look like for years to come. Levell's smooth 19.78 and Lyles' explosive 19.51 are not just times on a clock. They are markers of a rivalry being written in real time. Fans are already debating who will win the final, who will dominate in future championships, and whether Levell can one day chase down Bolt's legendary records. The anticipation is electric because everyone knows this is just the beginning of something bigger than one race. The impact of tonight's semifinals has stretched far beyond the track. Social media erupted instantly, with fans around the world declaring this the matchup of the championships. Broadcasters replayed both runs endlessly. Analysts argued over whether Lyles' experience or Levell's fearlessness would matter more in the final, and former champions weighed in with their predictions. This isn't just athletics. It's entertainment at the highest level, a rivalry packaged perfectly for a global audience. The narrative has all the ingredients: a young Jamaican trying to restore national pride, an American champion fighting to defend his throne, and a final that could tilt the balance of power in the sport. Sprinting thrives on drama, and right now, Bryan Levell and Noah Lyles are providing it in abundance. As the dust settles from the semifinals, one truth is clear: the men's 200-meter final is no longer just another race. It's the defining moment of these championships. Bryan Levell has proven he can run with the best, delivering 19.78 that would have been enough to win gold in countless finals before. Noah Lyles, however, answered with 19.51, a performance that reminded everyone why he has been untouchable in this event. Now the question is no longer, can Levell compete? It's, can Levell beat the king when it matters most? The final will be more than just a race for gold. It will be a battle for legacy, for pride, and for the future of sprinting itself. Will it be the coronation of a new Jamaican star, or the reaffirmation of an American dynasty? In just under 20 seconds, the world will have its answer.